Hey, tech enthusiast, welcome back. Today, I will show you how to build a cool computer from scratch. If that is what you're interested in, then you're definitely in the right place. Building a computer can be a rewarding and educational experience. So let's break it down step by step. Let me present to you the components that you will need, and then I will show you how to shop for them, ensuring compatibility with each other. In other words, I am helping you find and select the correct components for your computer to function. On this website, we are going to click on sign in/register and then choose sign in with Google if we have a Google account. If not, choose a different method. Now select the PC Builder link. On this page, we are going to shop for a CPU first, and then we'll make our way to the next components until our PC Builder list is complete. Make sure the compatibility checker is turned on in the upper left-hand corner under CPU. I am going to search for a mid-range CPU with decent performance that offers a good balance between price and performance for a wide range of tasks. Once the CPU is selected, we will move on to the motherboard. I typically choose an ATX motherboard over an micro ATX motherboard. They primarily differ in size, expansion slots, and the amount of hardware they can accommodate. Regarding memory, 16 gigabytes of RAM should be sufficient for your mid-range computer system. Feel free to choose any of the parts that are presented to you within a specific category. These will be compatible with your CPU, motherboard, and other components. Higher cost components typically correspond to better performance. It is important that you assess your needs and use cases when choosing computer parts. Depending on your requirements, a mid-range component may provide the best value for your budget without sacrificing significant performance. Next, I am going to select a computer case that has pre-installed attractive-looking fans with LED lighting, similar to the ones that you saw at the beginning of this video. If, for whatever reason, the fans do arrive uninstalled, or you notice at a later time that one of the fans' LED lighting isn't working, I will show you how to install the new fans as well. So this computer case has 3 fans in the front and 1 fan in the back. Now, I am going to select a storage device to store your operating system and files. I would choose a SSD because they are like the superheroes of storage. They're way faster than old school HDDs, which stands for hard disk drive. Instead of spinning disks, they use cool flash memory to store your stuff. This means you can access things instantly, and reading or writing files happens super quickly. It's like having a speedy car for your computer. With SSDs, your computer boots up in a flash, applications load faster, and the whole system becomes super responsive. Now, we will make sure that we have a CPU cooler. Some CPUs come with fan and heatsink, and I'm going to confirm that the selected CPU comes with both parts. If so, we won't have to purchase them separately. Lastly, we are going to choose a powerful power supply unit from a reputable brand that is known for producing reliable and efficient power supplies. This power supply unit will accommodate all of our computer parts and ensures the overall health and performance of our computer system. Now that your PC Builder list is complete, make sure to press the orange button titled Add All to Cart. Feel free to shop around for these computer parts at other suppliers. You might catch a better deal, but this is a great starting point. The next item we will add to our cart is an anti-static wrist strap. This will help us discharge any static electricity from our bodies prior to and during the installation. It is fairly important to put one on for the assembly portion of the computer to prevent damage to our computer components. Once the item is added to our carts, we will look for some thermal paste and add it to our carts as well. In summary, thermal paste plays a crucial role in maintaining optimal temperatures for CPUs and GPUs, preventing overheating and contributing to the overall reliability and longevity of our computer hardware. On the checkout page, we are going to fill in our shipping, delivery, and payment information, and then submit the order if we are happy with it. Now, I am going to show you what each component looks like. Following, we are going to start with the assembly portion, and I'll be very thorough with how to handle and install each component. I will preface by saying that most parts should be held by the edges. You should avoid touching the gold contacts if the part has any. As you can see, we have an assortment of components laid out. It might seem complicated, but don't worry. I'm here to simplify the process, crafting a user-friendly guide that makes each step crystal clear. Together, we will navigate through the assembly, turning this tech puzzle into a seamless creation. Think of it as a collaborative adventure where with every connection made, your confidence grows. The end goal, a fully operational computer and newfound knowledge. I'll be your guide, offering insights and explanations along the way, ensuring that by the end, you're not just building a computer, but unlocking your potential in the world of tech. Remove all of your components from its packaging and place it on a wooden or plastic surface. Lay down the anti-static pad provided with your motherboard, positioning it beneath the motherboard at the center of your table. We will then put on the anti-static wrist strap prior to doing any work on the motherboard for added precaution. Attach the clip of the anti-static wrist strap to your laptop charger, ensuring a proper ground connection. If you don't have a laptop charger, you can attach a clip to any grounded metal object. This could include the metal frame of your computer case or a grounded metal table. Now let's proceed with the crucial step of installing the CPU, the brain of your computer. Begin by handling your CPU with care. Gently lift the CPU retention arm on the motherboard. This arm provides access to the CPU socket. Take a moment to observe the CPU socket. You'll notice a protective black cover. Carefully remove it. Now examine the CPU itself. On one of its corners, you'll find a small golden triangle. Align this triangle with the corresponding marker on the CPU socket. This ensures the proper orientation of the CPU. With precision, lower the CPU into the socket. The notches on the sides of the CPU will align with those on the socket. Take your time to ensure a snug and accurate fit. Once in place, it's time to secure it. Lower the CPU retention arm back into its original position. You will feel a slight resistance, and that's perfectly normal. It indicates that the CPU is securely seated. Closing the retention arm not only secures the CPU in place, but also ensures proper contact with the motherboard. This step is crucial for the seamless functioning of your computer. The gooey stuff you're seeing on the back of the heatsink is called thermal paste. It's like the sunscreen for your CPU. Mine looks a bit messy because I've used it before, but on your brand new heatsink, it should be all neat and tidy. If your heatsink didn't come with any paste, no worries at all. I'll walk you through how to put a small amount on the back of your CPU. Try to squeeze out a tiny bit more than I'm using here. I'm keeping it light because there's already some on my heatsink. Why bother with this gooey stuff? Well, it's like magic that keeps your CPU from getting too hot. So let's get a bit artsy and apply just the right amount to keep things cool and your CPU happy. Easy peasy. Ensure that the labels on the heatsink and fan are aligned with those on your motherboard. Next, position the four corner screws of your heatsink into the matching holes on the motherboard. Make sure they are tightened securely. Now that the heatsink is installed, we are going to install the fan connector to its matching header on the motherboard. Since the CPU and its cooler are securely in place, let's dive into installing the RAM module. You might be wondering about the optimal RAM slot to choose. Look for a legend next to your RAM slots that guides you on priority. If that's not available, refer to your motherboard's manual for guidance. Unlock the RAM slots on your motherboard, aligning the notch on the RAM stick with the one on the slots. Currently, I only have one RAM stick or RAM module, but if you have more, follow the prioritized slots. Apply even pressure to both ends until the tabs click into place, securing the RAM module firmly. Now, let's proceed with the smooth and straightforward installation of the SSD, a vital component for storage speed. Start by gently unscrewing the designated screw, creating space to insert the NVMe SSD effortlessly. Take a moment to appreciate the simplicity of this step. It's like fitting a puzzle piece into its perfect spot. With the successful installation of the last component onto the motherboard, we are now ready for the next pivotal step, placing the motherboard into its designated case. Take a moment to appreciate the progress we've made. Each component is now contributing to the collective powerhouse that is your computer. As we transition to the installation of the motherboard, pay close attention to the bracket designed for peripherals. This seemingly simple bracket plays a crucial role in ensuring the smooth integration of the motherboard into its housing. By attaching it correctly, you guarantee that the holes for the screws on the motherboard align seamlessly with those on the case. This alignment is not just about fitting pieces together, it's about creating a stable foundation, securing your components in place for optimal performance and longevity. Now that the motherboard is securely in place, let's tackle the GPU installation. Before anything else, take a moment to inspect your GPU. If there's a black cover protecting the golden fingers, carefully remove it. These golden fingers are delicate, so avoid touching them to prevent any potential damage. Ensure that the slot is unlocked before gently sliding in the graphics card. Once inserted, give it a gentle push until you hear a satisfying click, indicating that it's securely in place. Now, remember to lock it down using the slot's latch for added stability. To finish the job, secure it further by screwing it down with the provided screw. Now, let's move on to putting in a PSU or power supply unit. Think of this as the energy source for your computer. It's what keeps everything running smoothly. Imagine it like the beating heart of your system, making sure everything stays on track. When it comes to setting up this energy source, it's not just about finding a spot, it's about making sure it's snug and secure in your case. This ensures it stays in place and works reliably. We want to give it a good home, like finding a comfy spot for a favorite toy. Power supplies usually come with 4 screws, and it's crucial to use all of them for secure installation. This ensures that your PSU is firmly attached to the case, preventing any vibrations or movements during operation. Now, let's talk about the cables. We're not just dealing with wires here, we're making everything look neat and tidy. The separator is like a handy tool that keeps all the cables in order. Gently guide each cable through this separator like you're creating a tidy path for the energy to travel. This might seem like a small thing, but trust me, it makes a big difference. A well organized and snug PSU isn't just about looks, it helps your computer work better and keeps the air flowing smoothly. It's like giving your computer a breath of fresh air so it can do its best. While the graphics card power cable, commonly identified as PCIe 6 plus 2 pin, and the CPU power cable, a 4 plus 4 pin, may share a similar appearance, it's crucial not to interchange them. Plugging the incorrect cable into the wrong component can result in potential hardware damage. Always verify the labels on the cables and the corresponding sockets on the motherboard and components to guarantee precise and secure connections. I'm here to assist you throughout the step, ensuring a smooth and secure process. I will check in again once these cables in the back are more organized. Let's tackle the installation of your fans, ensuring optimal airflow within your system. Starting with the front fans, these play a crucial role in bringing in cool air to keep your components at an ideal temperature. Typically, cases are designed to accommodate multiple front fans to create a positive pressure environment, reducing dust buildup and enhancing cooling efficiency. Locate the designated fan mounting points in the front panel of your case. Securely attach the 3 front fans to these points using the provided screws, making sure they are oriented to intake air into the case. This configuration helps create a balanced airflow, contributing to improved overall system performance. When figuring out which way a fan should face, think of it like a little guide on the fan itself. Look for arrows or markings that show which way the air is supposed to flow. If you don't see any arrows, a general rule is that the side with open design or where you can see the fan blades is the side that should face inside the case. That's where it pulls in fresh air. On the flip side, if the fan has labels, stickers, or a more closed appearance, that's usually the side that faces outside the case, pushing out the warm air. Putting in the fans should only take a few minutes. Have fun with the installation process, and I'll check in again once we finish setting up the front fans. Moving to the rear fan, its primary role is to expel the warm air generated by your components. Locate the rear fan mounting point on the back of your case near the CPU area. Attach the rear fan securely using the provided screws, ensuring it's oriented to exhaust air from the case. This creates a directional airflow, guiding the warm air out of the system and maintaining a healthy operating temperature. As you secure each fan, be mindful of cable management to avoid obstructing the airflow path. Once all fans are installed, we will connect them to each other using the 3-pin male and female connectors, and afterwards, we're going to connect them to power. With these fans in place, your system will benefit from efficient cooling, contributing to a stable and well-ventilated computing environment. Let's tidy up the cable situation at the back. Each fan here comes with a 3-pin male and female connector, plus a Molex power connector to get them running. I will neatly place the Molex power adapters in the upper left corner. I will check back in once I've arranged and distinguished the cables. Now let's streamline things by daisy chaining the front fans, connecting them to each other. Starting at the top, I'll link the 3-pin male connector of the top fan to the 3-pin female connector of the middle fan. Then, I'll connect the 3-pin male connector of the middle fan to the 3-pin female connector of the bottom fan. Continuing this chain, the 3-pin male connector of the bottom fan connects to the 3-pin female connector of the rear fan. Finally, I'll bring it all together using a 3-pin fan splitter or extension cable, letting all the fans share the same power source and control signals. We will link up the 3-pin male connector of the fan extension cable with the 3-pin female connector of the front top fan. Next, I will link together the Molex power connectors and secure them with zip ties if available. If you don't have any, I recommend getting some. They are affordable and excellent for keeping your cables organized. I would check in again after they are bundled up. If you have caps for your 3-pin fan connectors, place them on any uncovered 3 pins to prevent exposure. If you have electrical tape, wrap it around the 3-pin connections to secure them and prevent any loosening. Here, I am revealing the Molex power connector. We will ensure it gets the power it needs for the fans to operate. I will guide the Molex power cable through the top opening in the separator, keeping one Molex connector accessible. This setup will allow us to easily connect the fan's Molex power connector to the Molex cable attached to the PSU. I will put this Molex cable aside for now. Next, I'll show you the essential cables in the front panel, including the reset switch, power LED plus and minus switches, HDD LED plus and minus switches, the audio cable, and the USB cables. I will check in again following the demonstration. After that, we will guide the previously set aside Molex power cable through the top hole in the separator and shift our focus to installing the front panel. Let's make sure that the cables from your front panel are nicely passed through the upper hole on the front separator. This way, when you attach the panel, everything stays tidy and well organized. It's like giving your setup a neat and clean look, making it not only visually appealing, but also making any future tweaks or upgrades easier. So take a moment to guide those cables through, and when you attach the front panel, you'll have a setup that's both good looking and user friendly. Before sealing the back cover of the computer, let's take a moment to double check the cable connections in the back. We will make sure that everything is connected as it should be for smooth and trouble-free operation. Oh, I'm relieved we did the check. It turns out that the daisy chain fans need to be powered up. Let's link them to a spare Molex cable. Now that everything is in order, let's secure the case and lay down the computer. This way, we can efficiently work on connecting the remaining power cables to their respective headers on the motherboard. For the upcoming step, we will kick off by connecting the CPU power cable. After that, we will move on to the GPU, motherboard, and USB 3.0 cables. All of these cables follow the same connection process and can only be inserted in one direction. Just keep an eye on distinguishing the CPU cable from the PCIe cable. Aside from that, it's a straightforward process. I'll touch base again once we've completed these cable connections. Now let's concentrate on linking the HD audio cable, the USB 2.0 cable, and other smaller connectors such as the power switch, reset switch, and LED switches. Ensure to take note of the labels on the motherboard's headers for guidance. As always, handle the connectors with care, keeping in mind the delicate nature of motherboard pins. I'll touch base again once we've successfully completed these connections. If your computer has front LED lights and you haven't received an RGB connector for controlling them, connect a 2-pin Molex connector to a spare Molex power cable. This will supply power to the LED lights. If you ever want to see the difference in your front panel, you can always disconnect this 2-pin Molex cable. Now, onto the smaller connectors, starting with the power LED plus and minus connectors. Check out the legend right next to the motherboard's header. It's like a little map guiding you on where each connector should go. Connect them gently, just matching them up with the legend. Even though this step might seem small, it's important to make sure everything fits and works well. So take your time, follow the legend, and you'll be all set. Now that we've successfully connected all the components, let's take a moment to add some finishing touches for a clean and organized look. Using zip ties, we'll carefully gather and secure the cables that are hanging over the motherboard. This not only enhances the overall aesthetics of your setup, but also ensures a good airflow within the case, contributing to optimal system performance. So let's tidy up those cables, creating a sleek and organized appearance that not only looks good, but also helps maintain a well-ventilated system. Once you're done with that, stand the computer upright and ensure it's connected to a keyboard, mouse, and monitor. If any of these components are missing, consider a visit to a computer hardware store or make a purchase online to complete your setup. Ensure the computer is also plugged into your wall socket or power strip. Power it on and access its BIOS or UEFI by pressing the appropriate key, such as F2 or F10. The key may vary depending on your system, so refer to your motherboard or computer manual. Confirm that the BIOS or UEFI displays the CPU, fan speeds, and RAM. Following the verification process, take a momentary break to download the Windows installation media on a different computer. Be sure to have a USB drive ready for creating a bootable USB, a crucial step for initiating the Windows configuration wizard on your freshly built computer. Click on Download Now, then visit your Downloads folder and double-click the downloaded file. Accept the license terms and complete the steps in the following windows to start the creation of the installation media. Don't forget to plug in the USB drive. I will check back in once the USB drive has completed processing. Now let's properly remove the USB drive by ejecting it, and then let's put it into our newly built computer. After connecting the drive and adjusting the boot order, exit the BIOS or UEFI. Follow the easy steps in the setup wizard until you're happily in your new account. That would be it for today's session. Huge congrats on this accomplishment, and I really appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button to show your support.